Hey FlossTube, how are you? It's Saturday, December 30th, midday here in Arizona. Sunny Arizona, very sunny Arizona. I hope you had a great holiday season. I had a wonderful, relaxing, and fairly quiet Christmas, which is always nice. And we have zero plans for the new year, at least New Year's Eve. So it should be a nice, easy new year as well. It's been kind of a crazy year, so keeping things quiet and just taking time to relax and de-res, I guess, in preparation for what is going to be another very busy year, has been greatly appreciated. So I have a metric ton of stuff to show you today because it's been a little while and I've done a little shopping. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to show in this video are the things I've worked on in the past almost 6 weeks. It's been since we talked last. I have some stash that I have acquired as well as gifted, and I'm going to show the piece that I'm planning to start on Monday. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, so let's talk about what I worked on. So the first thing, not much to show, but that's okay. The first thing is the Dracula. At least I have them all piled up. I just don't have it all like ready to pull out of the bag. First part, or the first whip, is the Dracula book cover. Oh, I forgot something. I'll have to take a pause and I have to go get it. Something I finished. Anyway, let's get through the whips first and then I'll show you the finish. So as I mentioned in my last video, my goal is to get at least the outer border done so that I can go see Nick at least one last time before he closes. So I can order the frames that he used on my friend Suze's piece. So I'm pretty close. I've got enough border done that I could take it now. This is 36 count Aztec linen. So I actually have enough that he could measure it, and for a frame it's not going to be very big. It's going to be much smaller than hers was. So, but I'll see about finishing off that corner in the upcoming week, and then I can make a trip over to Nick's. Just put it over there because I'm going to have to pull it out again. Alright, next thing I worked on, or another thing I worked on, these aren't in, oh, this is a new start. So I had a new start. These aren't in any particular order, just so we know. I had a new start on Christmas Eve, and it was Miss Christmas Eve from Mirabilia. This is Trisha's fault because she showed this in a video a couple weeks ago that she was getting ready to start it. I don't think she actually did start it, but she was getting ready to start it, and I said, I have that, and I have it all kitted, and I could start that, and so I did. So this is on Tyco Picture This Plus 32 count linen. Here's where we're at. I started at the bottom. I can't really see. It's a beautiful kind of grayish, goldish fabric. It looks very stucco-y, which is why I chose it. I started at the bottom because I was missing one green in the floss that I bought for whatever reason. And of course it's the green that's used primarily through the whole piece. So I started at the bottom so I could get to the reds. And then the greens came. Then the green came in. And this is in my December So Much to Love bag. Snowman bag, which seems appropriate. So, she was started on Christmas Eve. I worked a little bit over the Thanksgiving holiday on another Mirabilia. Where's the picture? Sorry. Here it is. No, that's not it. Heck. Oh, there it is. Winter White Santa. Winter White Santa. This is on Arctic from Picture This Plus. I started this last year at our wedding anniversary, which is the 25th of November, because it was one that my husband saw on one of Jessie Marie's early videos when he was looking over my shoulder on the plane. And he's like, yeah. So I started that last year, and I worked on it more this year for our anniversary. So here's where we're at. I got most of that center pages done, which is good. Most of this is new that I did. So this got a few days. I love the linen. So and that got some time. All right, so then we heard very sad news that Martina Rosenberg passed away in the early part of December. I can't say that I've known Martina, but I've interacted with her quite a bit, and one of my very good friends, Cheryl, is the admin of the support group on Facebook. And for a while, I actually owned the Chatelaine support, the board that was on Yuku, or the message board. Started on EasyBoard, then I went to Yuku, and for a while, I was the owner. I also owned the viewer for a while. But with everything at the time, it was too busy, so I passed those on to other folks. And Cheryl is one of my very best friends. In fact, she is my evil twin, or so we call each other, because we both have the first name of Cheryl. She and Martina manage that support group on Facebook. So I've had a lot of exposure, and they have a lot of Chatelaine designs, both whips as well as kitted projects. Kitted projects. So it was quite a shock that she passed away. Cheryl asked me to start helping out with the support group because it's an active group. There are there's lots going on. So she was afraid. She knew that by herself it was not going to be a good idea. So she asked me to help out. So I have been helping out with the administration of that group on Facebook. Which is it's a great group. Like I said, it's very active. But it just seems so odd to me that there will be no more new Chatelaine designs, and so many things that she had talked about and had plans for, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So, because of that happening, I did pull out one of my Chatelaine whips. This is Egyptian Garden. I don't have a picture. I'll insert something. I don't have a picture that's printed that I can show. And in this one, I actually started in the corner, which I don't recommend doing for Chatelaines, by the way. But I'm way too far along to even consider restarting it. And if I remember correctly, when I very first started this design, I had a bear of a time cutting the right size piece of fabric. This is actually just 28 count white, or antique white Jobelin. But I think this was like the third piece of fabric that I cut for this design. I could not get the right piece, the right size piece. It was everything. I cut a 32 and I only added like 3 inches for borders, and of course that's not going to work with the size of the design. 3 inches total, which means I would have had 1.5 inches, which is crazy. So then I went to another piece of 32, but I recalculated it, and I calculated it, I went to a piece of 28, but I calculated it for a 32 size, which means it was too small. And I mean, I remember I had to cut this fabric like 3 times. It was driving me crazy. But I did finally get a piece cut of 28 count antique white, which is fine. It's fine. It just makes it very large. So here's where we're at. I had the outermost band, this part, I had this all done, I think. Hold on. Try to get this where I can finagle it a little better. I had to fill in, so what I did is I filled in this part down here. I filled in a lot of the blue up here. That was not done. And then I did all of this. So Egyptian Garden is one of my favorites of her designs. So I worked on that for a good 4 or 5 days. The little cat's over 1. The little cat, he's over 1. There is a modification out there that adds a tail for him, but I didn't do that. I didn't do any modification. I just didn't think that was... I just didn't think I wanted to do that for this. So that got some love. And it'll stay towards the top, I think, of the whip pile for next year. So I'll continue to make some progress on that. Okay. Alright. So then the next thing I worked on, which you saw in the Stitch With Me video that I did, where Mike and I answered the holiday tag questions, which was fun. Weird setup. I'm having trouble. I got to work on the setup that I have for those. So, but I was working on King Arthur. Which is from Cross Stitch Collection, October 2005. And this is still the piece that I'm working on when I'm back in the bedroom, when we're doing stuff like there, watching TV or just kicking back. So it's still in the Q-snap. So here we are so far. So since I last showed it on an update, I've added a lot of the blue, and I added all this border, and then I've added some of those. So I really love this. I still love this. This was my New Year, New Start, January of last year. Yeah. So, lots of progress. Not as much as Stephanie, but we're getting there. Getting there. Alright. And then the last thing I worked on was a new start. And this was Forest Snowfall from Country Cottage Needleworks. And this is the latest Priscilla and Chelsea stitch along. Now, I ordered the kit from Down Sunshine Lane, which was awesome. I got a beautiful piece of fabric. I got all of the threads. She did do one swap for the thread because the deep fennel, that's what the model was done in, was more green than blue, and so in order to get the blue, she changed it to another color, which is fine. I'm good with that. And then she sent the recommended pearl gray linen. Well, which is this. When I started stitching the green, I started in the top. I don't know what my deal is lately, but I started up here. Right. But when I started with the green, it just disappeared. It just disappeared right into the fabric. Well, I'm like, well, that's not gonna work. And of course, it is the 28th, which is the day, which is Chelsea's birthday, and is the first day of the sale. And I'm like, oh, I need another piece of fabric. So I went digging into my fabric, which I don't have a lot. Yeah, and I found a recent acquisition from Color and Cotton, one of the fabric of the month. I think this is October's fabric of the month. It was called Old Stone. And it's a gray, blue, lavender. I mean, it's really a nice, rich, stony color. So that's what I pulled out, and that's what I started, and that's where I'm at. So, not bad. I like the white comes out nicely, the blue, the browns. It's definitely coming up with a purple tinge in this light, but it's usually more of a grayish color, so I like it. Definitely more wintry clouds. So I'm hoping to get this done by the end of tomorrow, but we'll see. I have no other commitments other than finishing this video, and I am going to go ahead and record the whip parade. So that'll take me a couple hours probably of videoing today, but I don't have anything else to do for the next 2 or 3 days. So we'll see. We'll see how far I can get. I would really like to go into the new year without this counted as a whip. So, this is, however, stored in one of my newest project bags, which is this, and it came from the lovely Marlene. This is a Marlene bag. I like it because it's square. All my other ones are rectangle-ish. There's so much to love, which I love as well. But this is a lovely Marlene bag, and it has a beautiful herringbone inside. There you go. And the needle minder also came on it, as well as a few skeins of floss. So very happy with that. Very happy to get my Marlene bag. So, all right, we're gonna stop for just a second. I'm gonna go run and get my 2 FFOs that I have to show you, and then we'll keep going. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I know for you it was like no time at all, but I actually ran to the other room and came back. Anyway, all right, so these were the most recent Nick framings that I had done. This is Mill Hill Believe, which I think I showed finished in the last video. I think I did. I didn't go back and watch it. I just was not. Oof. No. I've been watching everybody else's FlossTube videos because I've been so far behind, so I've been trying to catch up on everybody else's, so I just didn't watch my own. Anyway, Believe. Beautiful purple, dusty purple frame. Love how it came out. He also used museum glass on this because he had some extra pieces, which I don't. I usually just get normal glass, but he did museum glass this, which I think makes it very nice. It's very nice. So that was good. And then the other one is a piece that I finished since my last video and then had it fully finished and framed, and that is the Lizzie Kate Spirit of Christmas. All done. I finished it late November, I think. I could look, but I'm not going to. But I finished it and took it in, and he framed it for me with this beautiful red. I love this reddish frame. It's very nice, very different. Usually the first thing he pulls from me are blue frames. I have more stuff framed in blue, but this one I'm like, not that you would put a blue frame on this, but red frame, very nice. Let's see. This is stitched as charted. The only difference, the only unusual thing is this button. They showed to put it in the middle there, and I didn't. I put it up in the corner. That was it. That was the only change I made. But I do love the 3-part Lizzie Kates. So that's it. Those are the whips. That's what I've been working on, and finishes that I've had. So now let's talk a little bit about stash. Well, oh wait, I take that back. 2 more finishes. I have a box. So the other finish, the next finish that I had was Michelle Bendy Stitchy's Fancy Outhouse Stitch Along. I started and finished my fancy outhouse. This is a Michael Powell design called Garden Shed that is modified to include the moon in the middle. No clue what I'm going to do with it, but it's fun. It was fun. It's Michael Powell, which means it was very bland until you added the back stitching, and then it's amazing. So I finished that, started and finished that. And then the last piece that I finished was a huge celebration. I finished the Mesa Santa. Thank God. This was the last of the Crazy 7 pieces that I started in July of 2016, which happened to all be Mill Hills, but this was the last one to be done. So, not that I don't have any other Mill Hills to work on. Oh, and by the way, I found 2 more. I've been slowly straightening, and I found 2 more. 2 more to go in the bucket. So Mesa Santa is done. I've finished a few of these Santas now. To me, they're a little big for ornaments. So, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I almost think some sort of flat bowl thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. That's it for finishes. Now, let's talk about this. I was very lucky to receive this beautiful and fun Christmas card from Olivia and Elena. Olivia had pinged me a month or so ago, 6 weeks ago, asking for my address for my Christmas card, because I had the opportunity to meet her at Needle in a Haystack at one of the Bay Area get-togethers when I was working in the Bay Area. So I just was so happy to get the ornament or the Christmas card, but it came in a very large envelope, and I couldn't understand why it was coming in such a large envelope until I opened it and I found this. This is Penny Penguin's Heart of Christmas by artfulofferings.com, or Artful Offerings. Is that not the cutest thing? And so very me. So I'm amazed at the generosity of these 2 ladies. This year, seeing all of the various cards and gifts that went out, and just how much time and effort they put into matching the right gift to the stitcher. It's just so nice to see that kind of joy and generosity in the world. So thank you very much, Olivia and Elena. My husband also bought me stash for Christmas. He bought me the Prairie Schooler Starry Night, and it's the original chart, so it's a paper chart. So he found this for me. Well, I might have sent him a link or 2, but it did get wrapped up and was under the tree for me on Christmas Day, which was very nice. He also bought me a new iPad, a large one, because he had noticed that I was squinting at my regular iPad when I was using it for charts and patterns, which obviously my chatelaine is on there, and I have some other patterns that I use directly off of my iPad. So he was not happy with what he saw of me and how I was using it. So he bought me the big iPad Pro. So and then I found a stand for it. So I've used it, and it is amazing. It's amazing. It was too much, but it was amazing. So I also may have found a Prairie Schooler. So that came home with me. I also went to Vegas. We went to Vegas for our 20th anniversary over Thanksgiving week. And when one goes to Vegas, one goes to Stitcher's Paradise. I'll actually be back there in a couple weeks. So I got a few things at Stitcher's Paradise. The one thing that I went specifically to get was fabric for Glendon Place Fudgy Mint Mousse. I had the chart, I had the silks already, so all I needed was fabric. So I found, after much floss tossing and pulling of fabric, because they have an amazing selection, Gina, the owner, and I decided on Belfast Silver Moon. Whew, boy. Let's see. It's just a very pale gray. And it was by far the best choice for these silks. By far. So, we went through a few pieces, and this was the winner. So I have that now ready to go. Which makes me happy. And then a few other things, because of course Mike was with me. And when Mike's with me, I don't usually take him to needlework stores, and this is why. Because he will stand around and look at the models on the wall, and he'll go, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I really like that. This is how the seasonal queens from Mirabilia got done. He saw them in a shop. And I have a couple of other pieces that I've done that he saw. And I have several that I need to do. It's because he saw them in the shop. So the ones that are his fault out of here is this Hooked on Coffee from Hand Blessings. He is the big coffee drinker, so this is totally him. Hooked on Coffee is his, and this was the big one. Maidens of the Season. They have a piece there that is all four of them stitched together, and he saw that and he was like, ooh, I really like those. So I'll be doing these at some point. Now the interesting thing, of course, is the Winter Maiden. Winter is done using needle paints floss, which was done by MLI, Marilyn Levitt Emblem from Lavender and Lace. Very hard to find. Very hard to find. I've seen a couple of conversion charts for them. So, we'll have to see. Let's see how that goes. But, yeah. So, those two are his fault. I did not buy fabric for them. I saw was Vickery World Globes. I love maps. So that came home with me. This was the second thing that I went specifically looking for, and that was the Lila Studio Halloween Quaker. Ooh, the glare. Halloween Quaker from Lila Studio. I also got floss for this, and a piece of fabric. I did not get the Murky, which is what calls for. I got Storm. Ooh, that's perfect right there. So it's that nice mottled gray, and it is 40 count, so. And then here's all the floss for it in the background. So that was fun. We'll see that coming next year. And then I also spotted this one. This is Sherry's fault. Hey There Pumpkin. So hands-on design. And I got floss for that and piece of fabric. And of course, can't go to the shop without Mill Hill. So I've been resisting these pretty well up till this point. So, this one, Toyland Sleigh and Traditional Sleigh. Those will go in the box of Mill Hill. Everything else is just floss for the charts. I also ordered, there was another model there, a Bent Creek piece that she did not have. It was one of the mantle pieces, so it's one of the big pieces with the different things on the mantle. So she's ordering it. So hopefully by the time I go back in a couple weeks, it will be there and ready to come home. So I don't have to look for anything else to buy. I do need to get fabric for one thing, which I'll show you shortly, but hopefully the total in later this month will be far less than what it was last time. Okay, onward. Alright, so I ordered 2 pieces of fabric from Hand Dyed by Stephanie on her Black Friday sale. This is Winter Wishes. It's a very beautiful gray. And then this is Secret. And this is kind of a mauvey green something. I had thoughts for both of them. I don't remember what they were. I'll find something. I got my latest batch of Silks for You silks. which are absolutely amazing. Look at those amazing rich colors. 20 bucks. 5 skeins. Cannot go wrong. If you join the Silk of the Month, let Jo know I sent you and she'll send me something extra. Alright, so what else? So I also took advantage of so I I use an online program called Ebates, and then for certain websites it gives you basically a percentage rebate on your purchase. And Etsy is one of those shops, online shops. Usually it's only 1%, which is still 1% adds up, but Black Friday it was 6%. So I did a little shopping on Etsy. The Thread Gatherer had an Eclipse silk pack. So I ordered one of those, and then she also sent these 2 fun dyed trim along with the silks. I got those. I got my next color and cotton fabric of the month. This is Treasure Map Jobelin. Awesome color. Let's see. In a minute. I got my latest floss pack from Color and Cotton. Some lovely antique-y colors. I made during that Etsy sale. I also got another order from Silks for You. Jo is dyeing fabric, so I got this piece of 40 count. Pretty sure it's 40 count. 40 count fabric and this mini hank of silk. These will not go together. I'm not. No, they separate. But I bought the Long Dog First Unique collection. I can't say the acronym. Well, I can. First Unique Cross Stitch Collection with a K. And so I thought this would be good for one of the monochromes that are in that book. I have plans to start one of them in January. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this would be good, I think, for another one. This is very similar to my Death by Cross Stitch. Anyway, so 40 count fabric, but Silks for You. Jo is dyeing fabric, which Jo dyes awesome fabric. She doesn't name it. She only puts up what she has, so similar to XJU designs, where she dyes first and then she posts it, so you're only buying what's available. There's not a weight of any kind. Well, other than it coming from Australia, of course. But she uses good fabric, so. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then of course, and then the last thing I got from Etsy was Matter's Choice, Carriage House samplings. I saw Abby and McKenna starting this, and I really like it. And actually that fabric from Jo, this would be perfect with just black. So we may see this coming up soon. And then Trisha, of course, Soda Stitch. So I had to get some Soda Stitch. Sleeping Beauty. Let's see. Sleeping Beauty. Cinderella. I don't know why. It's not like I have small children or a little kid, but I might have grandchildren, I guess. Maybe a granddaughter someday. And I could stitch fairy tales for my granddaughter. They're just so cute. Rapunzel. Beauty and the Beast. The Little Mermaid. Alice in Wonderland, of course. Red Queen. Gotta have that. Oh, back to Sleeping Beauty. So I got those. Just in case. Who knows? I might need them. The other thing that I recently signed up for was Bird Brain Designs. If you've heard of those, they are primarily red work. So they're doing a red work kit of the month for 2018. So I've signed up for that because I've done some of their other designs. And so as a thank you, after you sign up, they send you this little pincushion piece. And it's a full kit. I mean, it's got everything in there. Everything. So I went ahead and stitched it. This took me a day. But I mean, she gives you everything. The floss, obviously the fabric you can see. I actually did it in a hoop, which is very unusual for me. The backing fabric, it's just now a matter of sitting down at the sewing machine and putting it together. But I got the January package. So this is the January kit. A little bigger. But she does great kits in it. Like I said, this one comes with a full ball of pearl cotton, right? And needle embellishments. Everything's in here. Everything's in here. So and to me, it's something a little different. Obviously, it's still a ground cloth type embroidery, but it's essentially backstitched, but not really backstitched. It's not. I don't mind backstitch personally. I know there are people that despise doing backstitch, but black work or red work, they like that. I like that. It's obviously you're using a pearl cotton, so it's a much thicker thread, and it's just it's a very forgiving. You trace the pattern on the fabric, and you just follow the lines. So there's no pattern to look at. So it goes really quickly. It goes very quickly. So I got those, and it's great for travel because that's when I did part of that when we were driving to and from Vegas. That weekend I was a potholder making. Since my daughter moved out, she said, "Mom, I need potholders," and so we've in our family have made them out of cotton yarn for as long as I can remember. In fact, my granny, I think, used to make them out of acrylic yarn, which can be dangerous in some instances, but I do them out of cotton yarn now. So I was crocheting potholders while we were driving up and back. I finished like 3 in the time that we were there, and totally wrapped up 5 for her for Christmas. So that was my Christmas crafting this year. Was a lot of crochet. I knit a hat for my son. I did make a stocking for Kylie's fiance. All I did his name, and everything else is just fabric, Christmas fabric. So that's what we have. So no stitching for Christmas. I don't stitch for people for Christmas. I just because you just never know. You never know. People are gonna really like it. I say this, of course, and then I'm going to pull out what I'm going to stitch for Kylie for next Christmas. So, Vanna, the lovely Vanna, posted a beautiful set of ornaments from Brooks Books that I'd looked at, but seeing the finished product. And these are 12, she's called them bride's tree ornaments. So I bought the set. There's 12 patterns here. But I bought the set from Brooks Books. They're bride's tree, 12 ornaments. The tradition is to give these to the bride on her first Christmas, which will be next Christmas for my daughter. So there's the house. Or home, excuse me. There's the home. And then there's love. Wishes. And they have crescent colors, but they also have DMC. They are beaded, so there's a few beads on each one. Hope. Happiness. It's a bluebird. Plenty. blessing. This is funny. It's a fish. Faithfulness. Trying to pull them apart. Hospitality. Eternity. Guidance. That's me right there, right? Guidance. Kidding. Just kidding. She's fine. She's doing fine. She started a new job. It's paid more. She hates it. Giving. That's the last one. Not the getting paid part, but the fact that she's very efficient. The person that she was replacing was not very efficient. So in a week, they're like, oh, we're so far behind. There's this filing and data entry, and well, if you have time, you can do this, and you have time, we have this project. Yeah, she finished all that in a week. So now she's trying to figure. Now they're trying to figure out what else she can do. It's a lab, so who knows? Anyway, rabbit hole. Sorry about that. All right. So anyway, yeah, 12 designs, 12 ornaments. I am not overly optimistic that I can actually finish all 12 of these in time to get them finished for her. So I'm actually going to enlist the help of some friends who have known Kylie since she was, you know, for the almost 20 years that I've been stitching. So they've known her since she was a small child, or known of her. So I'm going to try to enlist some friends to help me with these, some stitching friends, and so we can get them done and I can have them finished for her for Christmas. So, but the interesting thing is that I ordered them from Brooke's website, or her Etsy store. Awesome. It was a one price for all 12 ornaments, which is great. I got them very quickly. It was really only maybe 10 days tops that I had them in my hand, which is awesome. And then about 2 weeks after that, I got another package from Brooke. And I'm like, I don't remember ordering anything else. Nothing had been on back order. I mean, I'm getting the princess charts, but those I'm getting in PDF. I'm not getting physical charts. And so I opened up the package. Here's the package. And sure enough, I got another set of ornaments. Another set of charts. Same charts, the 12 that I just showed you. So I emailed Brooke and I said, hey, you sent me 2. Would you like me to, I was like, please would you like me to send them back? What, how do you want to handle it? And she says, oh, wow, well, and I said, I could do a giveaway if you like. And she said, oh, that would be great. So, if you managed to stay this long, I appreciate that. If you would like to stitch 12 ornaments from Brooke's books, obviously they don't have to be for a bride or family. They're just, they're German style ornaments, and they're meaningful for anyone, regardless of where you're at in your life, in your married life. Please leave a comment below and tell me what your tell me what you're looking forward to in 2018. Let's do that. What are you really looking forward to next year? All right, whether it be something stitching related or not stitching related, doesn't matter. Just tell me what you're looking forward to, and then at the end of January, I will when I do another update, I will use the fancy random comment picker and pick a winner for the set of ornaments. So thanks to Brooke for sponsoring the giveaway, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what you're looking forward to in 2018. So is that it? Is that it? Oh, my new start for next year. So, as you are aware, Kylie is getting married. Ergo the wedding dress bag right there. I recently purchased some beautiful white 40 count linen from Needle and Haystack. This is not going to show up well, but it's a beautiful white linen. It's legacy linen. It's called Alba Maxa, and it's suitable for not only cross stitch but also for just any kind of surface embroidery. And I asked Joe at Silks for You to dye me some red silk, which she did. And here are the 3 colors of red silk. Right there. Beautiful red. And in a stitchy box, I got another beautiful charcoal gray. It's called newsprint, which I thought complemented those very nice. So those 4 colors together are going to create this. And this is going to be Kylie's wedding sampler. This is from, Stitchrovia. This is Stitchrovia's Wedding Love sampler. So this is going to be my start on January 1st. In addition, I'm going to use the same colors, though this is obviously primarily red with some gray accents. I'm going to do primarily gray on the same fabric with red accents. I'm going to do the Netherland Dwarf chart out of the Long Dog collection, and I'll put up a picture somewhere so you can see. So I'll start both pieces on that day. So I'll have a piece that's the same colors, the same materials. I won't say the same style because that's not true, but it's still kind of a monochrome sampler that I'll do. That Kylie will have her wedding sampler, and I will have a sampler for me using the same stuff. So I just thought it was kind of a fun thing. So that's it. My box is empty. My piles have all moved and migrated to the other side of my desk. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate the likes, the subscribes, the questions, the comments, anything, any interaction that we have, or even if we don't interaction, just thanks for watching. I'm going to reset here and actually film my whip parade, so that hopefully will be coming. You'll see that pop up on the channel soon. And that'll be it for me for this year. So have a fantastic weekend, fantastic New Year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next year to see what we're both up to. Thanks. Bye.